What is going on, everybody? This is Weekly Reviews here, and today, guys, we are going to be taking a look at the early access game known as Caromble. If you've never heard of Caromble, this was a game that has been in work for over 6 years by a very small independent development team known as Crimson Owl Studios. Now, about a year ago, I mentioned that I was going to be doing work with them, possibly on the beta version of their game, and due to complications with their work and everything and not being able to stay in depth as much with the game as they wanted to, they finally went and got around to making the beta to be possible for not only purchasing but as well as playing for everybody on Steam Early Access. So we are given the privilege of showing off the game for you guys today. So let's go ahead and start in with the story mode. And as you guys can see, I have played a tiny bit of the game. I was very excited because I wanted to see how good this game was, so I tried out the first level. But we're gonna just pretend like I didn't touch the first level, and I'll just walk you through on how to actually play this game. So this is a brick-breaking game, if I have not mentioned that before, and pretty much with brick-breaking games, you have to destroy everything to move on to the next level. Now, that does not mean for every single one of these bricks that you have to destroy, but you have to majorly take out a good amount of them. But pretty much the controls for this game is very simplified, so if you're a person that does not mind using your mouse to be able to move your paddle around, well, that's pretty much all the controls that you have, is using your mouse. Now, you have two other ways to be able to move the paddle around. You also have a charge attack, which if I get enough time to be able to do that, I'll go ahead and show the charge real quick. So when you charge up your actual paddle, it makes it so you can send the ball out into huge bursts and take out more blocks a little bit quicker. Now at the same time though, as you're charging, your ball, or excuse me, your paddle will be stuck within that position for a certain amount of time until the charge is complete. So you have to be very careful with where you're going to place your charge shot, because if you don't do it right, you can lose your ball and then end up having problems with trying to beat different scores and everything and try to beat your times. Because that's another thing. With the way that this game is graded, it is done by a medal grading system, which the faster you do the levels, the more points you get and the better medal that you also receive. Now there's also power-ups through the game, just like there are in many different types of brick-breaking type games. You have ones that will shrink your paddle, you have ones that will not only just increase the strength of it, but as well as grow the paddle itself. And then there are also ones that will cause complete destruction, like that instant charge one that I just had, which just eradicated a whole bunch of those boxes. And then there are also ones that will slow down the ball, some that will speed it up, and then just many different other ones out there. So each one of the power-ups you'll notice is in a different symbol, so if you see that symbol and you think, oh crap, I need to go ahead and make sure to grab that one, make sure to grab it quickly, because once it's gone, it's gone. Now, over the time you'll also find power-ups that will give you extra lives. You will need to grab as many of those as possible, because this game is not simple. Not because of the control-wise that they have done with it, it is just a very hard game to play as you get further in the game, where there are so many bricks to have to avoid, and also if the ball keeps moving faster with other power-ups, including if you have extra balls and everything. Now also each block, as you guys can see, will have a different differentiation with the point function. Each one of them will have between 1 point, 3 points to 5 points. So each brick will vary. Whenever you open it up, you'll either want to try to grab it or say, okay, no, I don't want to grab that one. So if you're going to try to be greedy and say, oh hey, I'm going after the 5-point ones, then you can just go after the 5-point ones. If you want to go for 1 point, you can go for 1 point. And they each vary, so you want to watch out not only just for that, but for the extra ball power up again to go ahead and take out the bricks faster. But at the same time, you got to make sure that you're watching everything that's going on the screen, because this is not a simple game. This is a very hard game as time goes by. When you start having such a huge playing field that you have to move the balls around on, I mean, they will bounce everywhere, and some of them will be so fast that you won't be able to catch up with them. So you just have to be very careful with where you have your paddle and just watching everything that's going on screen. and it adds a little bit of strategy to it, I think, in my own opinion. Brick breaking games they're very relaxing, but at the same time there are some people out there that really go nuts with them, saying like, oh my god, they can be very, very hectic and very awesome games to play, but they can also be very hard. Like there, right there, I just messed up by accident. I was just a little bit off, but that's okay. So at least we went ahead and made it past the level to move on. So now we're going to move on, and we're going to carry that instant charge with us. Now that's another thing. If you already have a power-up enabled when you're exiting the level, it will not go with you. So don't think that if you have a power-up of an instant charge that it's going to go with you when you move on to the next level. That power-up will be completely negated and then completely just gone. So, alright, now we're making some progress. We're just blowing these things up. I want to try to see if I can take that whole thing down. Nice. Nice job. Took down half of it. I almost lost my ball there. Now you can also see on the very side screen, which again I messed up on that, I don't mean to. You can see on the side screen where when you're charging your paddle, that it'll show exactly how much of the charge it takes for you to go ahead and get it. Now I'm sure they'll come up with other power-ups that will maybe increase the charge, or maybe ones that'll just have the instant charge. I mean, they may eventually do that, they may not. But it is another suggestion that I will be passing on to Crimson Studios, possibly to release for when the game is fully done. So again though, if you are interested in this game, this is a very fun game though, it really is. And it's not one of those kind of games that every single person out there really likes playing a whole bunch, and especially because of all the different types of power-ups that they have. Like this frog view one right here is really cool. It adds it like in a third person style perspective, and it makes it look really cool. So the camera work is really nice. I like the graphics style, and I really like how they use the physics engine in this, because as you're breaking everything, you're seeing particles, again, if I didn't state that already, I'm stating it again, that are flying all over the place as you're taking out this. And I would actually see this playing on consoles really well. I could see this being a very fun little game for kids to play, even all the way up to arcade fan adults. So if you are one that is interested in possibly trying out one of these types of games, I do recommend it, because it is a very fun little game. But at the same time, you had better be ready for a game that will really work your mind for just being difficult. And good job, I think we beat him. Yes, we did. So not bad on that one. We actually did very good on that. Or at least for our second time. Not too good for the time limit, but still regardless though. If you guys want to try out this game though, feel free to go ahead and check it out in the description below. I will be including the Steam page for you to be able to actually purchase the game, and for you to check out the website as well. Make sure to also follow Crimson Owl Studios and Caromble on Twitter and Facebook. I'll also be including those in the description as well. Thanks again guys for watching, and this has been Weekly Reviews showing off the early access version of beta of Caromble from Crimson Owl Studios. Thanks again guys, and see you later. Game on.